Hey, watch lovers, Brad from Brent Miller Jewelers. And boy, do I have a good one for you today. Somebody reached out in the comments and said, could you please compare the Tudor Black Bay 41 monochrome to the Omega Seamaster 300 no date, both on rubber straps. I can't believe I haven't done this video before because this is a good one. I'll be honest, I'm still confused on what I like. It's almost a hybrid of the two. So I'm not going to go over all the specs of these. I will list all the dimensions, lug to lug, case thickness, all of that fun stuff in the description. So if you're looking for that information, check the description. I'll list it there. To me, this is really just visually, and then I'll get these on wrist. And then certainly got to talk price point on these. So again, just visually taking a look at them, the first thing I noticed throwing these on wrist when I was trying to decide is just the difference in the rubber straps. So yes, texture, aesthetically looking at them, but then also how they fit into the case. So the first thing I guess I'll ask is, how do you guys feel about the end link being attached to the rubber strap versus a naturally kind of curved end rubber fitted strap here on the Omega? That's the first thing that I really, again, looking at the rubber strap specifically, noticed. The one thing I will say with that is you get a very true wrist, kind of the way it hugs wrist. You can see it drapes directly down underneath on the Tudor because of those solid end links, versus the Omega. It looks good, it fits the case very well, but it does pucker out a little bit. So I did take a measurement for you guys. This all the way pressed in at the widest point. Now again, the widest point is it's below the case, below the lugs. But I did measure that at 52.3. Both of these are right around 50 lug tip to lug tip. So you're getting a little extra on the wrist with the way this fitted strap is on the Omega. Clasps on these, you have micro adjustability, you have the T-fit here on the Tudor. So you're gonna be able to, again, plenty. As far as the rubber strap goes, you have 3 pieces here that can be cut. When I throw this on, I have a 6 3/4 inch wrist. With this all the way in on the T-fit, it almost fits. So for me, just to give you an idea, I would end up probably cutting one section out, probably the one right here, attaching that in there, and then just using the T-fit to get a good fit on this rubber strap. The Omega, no micro adjustability. However, you can see you have each hole. So again, I think if you're really trying to get the best fit possible, the T-fit's probably the better way to go. The butterfly style here, dual push button. Again, still a really good fit on this. Again, my 6 3/4 inch wrist, I have 2 holes left. That's where I would wear it. But again, just a little bit different construction. You do have your kind of traditional clasp, which is a little bit heavier underneath the wrist compared to the Omega deployant there. So just things to consider when you're looking at the different options here on rubber straps. Going back to the dial, this is where it gets confusing for me because I do love the wave dial. Both no date models. If I'm being honest, I would take the waves here over the Tudor dial. Very similar hour markers. The biggest difference here to me is you're getting a loomed bezel, both aluminum bezels, but you're getting a loomed bezel on the Seamaster. Unfortunately, I'm in a well-lit office with natural daylight. I can't give you that loom shot. I'll try to link a video with the loom shot on there of both of these so you can see those as well. But I do like the loomed bezel. I like the skeleton hands, nothing against the snowflake hands. So pros and cons here, but you got a healing escape valve you got to deal with. So, there's pros and cons depending on which your personal preference is. I think the Omega just has a little bit more unique aesthetic to it. So let's throw these on wrist. Again, I've mentioned before, I'll say it one more time, 6 3/4 inch wrist. I will tell you right off the bat, I do prefer how this Tudor fits on my wrist. Let me zoom out. Again, I'm still at a shared workspace here, so I apologize for everything else on my desk. The reason I prefer the way this fits is, again, I mentioned it before, it comes straight off the lug. You'll see when I get the Seamaster on, I'm about tapped out on real estate with that rubber strap. I could wear it. I absolutely could wear it. I probably, if I had a Seamaster or that one of the Seamasters, I would probably prefer it on rubber strap for my wrist size. Omega, I'm talking to you. I still would love to see a 39 or a 38 millimeter version of the 300M. Give us a mid-size back, preferably in that 37 to 39. But for now, we're going to continue working with this 42. Again, good fit. The rubber's great. Again, it's just a little bit wider. You can see kind of where I'm at there. That's about as much as I'm willing to give up on my wrist. 52 is probably the absolute max. And again, because it's underneath, really I prefer like 46, 45, 46, 47 lug to lug on my wrist in the shape of my wrist. Both great watches. I mean, you really can't go wrong with either one of these. However, let's talk. The one thing I did want to mention is price. $6,500 versus $4,525. So almost $2,000 more for the Omega. We didn't even talk movements. Again, this is solid case back on this. Exhibition case back on the Omega. So, I mean, you are getting some differences here with that price point. Still, you know, it's a $2,000 difference. It's your money. I'm never going to tell you how to spend your money, but I want to point out some of the differences. And then weight. I weighed the Omega at 118.7 grams versus 114 on the Tudor. So that gives you an idea. Very similar as far as how they feel and the weight on wrist. And last but not least, we'll give you bezel action. Butter smooth here on your Tudor. You take this ring light off as well. Give you natural light here, just some couple windows in the office. I will say I do prefer the Tudor's feel and audible on the bezel action. But really, it's just personal preference. There's going to be many people that prefer the Omega, and I'm perfectly all right with that. So, as always, greatly appreciate you viewing. I hope this video review helps the individual who requested it. Gang, again, I take video requests. If there's something you want to see, put it in the comments. I try to get through all the comments. If not, email me directly, brad@brentlmiller.com. More than happy to help out when inventory cooperates. So let me know, where would you go and where would you spend your money between these two watches on the rubber strap? Thanks again for viewing, and we'll see you in the next video.